Hi, and welcome to another monthly reset. Today we're going to be chatting about how the last couple months went, so December, January, and what my plans are for February. So I did not do a monthly reset for January. Normally I'd take that time to do a annual goals video, which I have already posted, so you can check that out. So because of that, I didn't check in on my December goals, which we're going to talk about, and then I didn't truly set any specific goals for January. However, in December, I set 4 goals and I only met one of them. December was a little bit of a tight month in terms of getting things done because I went on vacation for 2 weeks. So I was out of the country for 2 weeks, and the other 2 weeks were spent working / getting ready for the vacation. So it was a little bit of a stretch to make these goals, but I still made them anyway. So the one goal that I met is to post 1 video a week, which I have been doing since then, which I am happy about, and it has paid off in some regard because I have seen that I've been getting more views and subscribers. So welcome if you're new. I'm happy to have you. In terms of my other goals and also to-dos, none of them were finished / done. So post a short form video, list 1 item. I try to list something that I have in my house in order to declutter. That didn't happen. And then actually decluttering, that did not happen either. And then for to do, I wanted to sign up for swim classes, which I did try to do. However, the first time I checked, the classes weren't available. Then I went back to check again and the classes were booked up. So we're gonna try again in February. And then I was supposed to do some research into the business that I have been trying to start for a few months now, and I didn't do that either. So it's nice to be here to reset for February and start to get things going. Now, in terms of finances, as always, I have made a budget for the past several months actually, but I have one currently up for February in terms of my plans. And then in that video, I also talk about the no buy year, which is one of my 2025 goals and how that's been going so far. So check that out. Additionally, I funded my Roth IRA for 2025. I also made a video about that, so you can find out more about the process and the types of stocks / investments that I like to put in there. And then in the same spirit, I did a little bit of recalibrating of my investment account. So I try not to change my stock allocation often based on what's happening in the world because they always go up and down. So I try to avoid that, as I mentioned, but I do like to look at the end of the year to see how my individual accounts perform as a whole to make sure that they're in line or close to the S&P 25, which is usually the largest 500 US companies, or in terms of the total stock market. So I want to make sure that my accounts are going up to the same degree as the US stock market in general. So after reviewing a few things, I ended up making a few changes. So in my 401k / 403b, I sold off some bonds. So I had some bonds that were inflation protected bonds, and as you know, inflation is going down, so then the return on the bonds were not particularly good, so I got rid of those. And then I decreased my exposure to some international stocks. For years now, international stocks have been doing terribly in comparison to the US stock market in general, which is hard to beat the US stock market. It's like the most dominant economic power. However, after watching the international stocks for quite some time, I'm like, I don't think I need to be as much in them, so I decreased my exposure to them. I still have international stocks, of course, and then in the same effect, lots of US companies have international presence as well, so I still have some exposure, but I just decreased it. And then in my brokerage account, which is my taxable brokerage account, where I dibble and dabble in some individual stocks, not a lot. I have a very small percentage of my portfolio is in individual stocks. I don't think they are the best idea in terms of long-term horizons and long-term goals, but I don't mind having a little bit set aside for them. So in that account, I had some small cap stocks, which are basically smaller companies. So on the range of large to small companies, they're on the smaller end because those have also been doing poorly. They are highly highly volatile because of the fact that they are smaller companies and are more subject to the cyclicality of the economy, and they just did not or have not been doing well. However, they can do very well when the economy is heading towards an upturn, but these particular ones were not doing well, so I sold them. They were in a basket of stocks called an index. And then Gucci stock, I think I had maybe a few shares of Gucci stock slash Kering, which is the parent company of Gucci, among other brands, and I didn't see them getting out of the slump that they're in. I don't know that Gucci and associated companies are going to be seen in a different light in the future, so I ended up selling those and then investing the proceeds into Hermes, which has a greater potential to do well, and actually did do well after I invested in them conveniently because of some results from, I think Richmond is the other luxury company. They had good results in terms of sales and how good the business was doing, so that helped lift higher end luxury stocks as well. And then the other thing that happened financially last month is that I had put in an offer on a house, and then subsequently, as I mentioned in my budgeting video, I felt a tinge of regret, such I felt like this was going to be not ideal for me, so I ended up backing out on that offer. So I am still in the market for a house. Now let's move on to some of the favorite things that I discovered in the last couple months. So in terms of media, I actually had a pretty decent amount of shows slash movies that I watched. So I'm still watching The Agency. That's that CIA drama, and that's been pretty good. I think actually the season is finished now. I think there are 8 episodes. And then new to me, I watched American Prime Evil, or me and JS watched it. It's not something that I would normally watch. It's a Western. It's very violent in many ways, but I knew he would like it and I wanted something for both of us to watch, and it actually turned out to be really good if you can get past the violence. Like the storyline is very engaging, so recommend if you like Westerns, or if you just want a drama that's like well done to watch. And then Outlander is back. I know I have 1 or 2 of you guys that watch Outlander as well, so I have been catching up. I am not caught up because I was slow to realize that it was back on, but I'm very happy about having a few episodes like on deck to watch, so I've been enjoying that. And then I watched Craven. I guess this is a Marvel offshoot, and that was fun as well. I watched it on vacation one night. Basically some guy with like animalistic strength and agility that goes after bad guys, and it was fun to watch. So other things in media, such as books that I enjoyed. So I've been on a bit of a reading slump, as in it's just been taking me a long time to finish these books. I don't know if it's because I'm not as enthused or because I had other things going on or whatever, but I did start 10,000 Doors of January, which is actually quite good, but it's just I'm in a bit of a slump and I haven't been able to finish it, but I have been enjoying it so far. And then I started a book called Hidden Potential, or it's an audiobook, which is actually quite good. The audiobook is good. It has excerpts of people chatting about what he's discussing and like various recollections. So it's almost like you're listening to a story, which I've never listened to an audiobook like that, but I quite enjoy it, like the storytelling aspect. That I started and have not finished, but I will eventually. Normally I listen to these audiobooks when I'm like driving to work, usually in the morning. In the evening, I'm usually chatting to JS, so I don't listen to it. So it usually takes me a while to get through these books, but I'm hoping to get back into it eventually because it did have some really great points in there. Basically, it's about finding your potential. And there was a little section about language learning, which I thought was interesting because I mentioned in my 2025 goals video that I have been struggling to learn another language. So I thought that was useful, some of the lessons that were in that particular section. In terms of other things that I've been loving, so I have been loving this Coach handbag. I bought this, it's a used handbag. I bought the used, it's a vintage Coach handbag that I got in Japan for like $40. So very regular and unassuming. However, I've just been like gravitating towards it. I've been using it on the weekends. It's nice because you can do like a whole hold it in your hand thing. And then it has enough space that you can also put it on your shoulder and go hands-free. So I've been really loving that. And it's just very simple and unassuming. So that's been nice and kind of ironic because I have so many bags. However, I've been using this bag the most in the last few weeks. Other things fashion related are this hat. I got this hat for vacation. However, it never arrived in time. It's a cashmere hat from H&M, and I've never really been into hats. However, it like really works in terms of keeping you warm, which is like what have I been doing for the last years of my life. Like I should have been wearing a hat. So I've been loving this. I wear it like basically all the time, like every day. And I thought it would look terrible but it actually doesn't look bad. So I'll put it on. So this is it on, so it doesn't look as terrible as I thought it would. So this has been really nice. And then in the beauty realm of things, I purchased this Beauty of Yosen sunscreen in Japan. I purchased it twice now before from Walmart. The first time it was good. The second time I'm pretty sure they sent me a knockoff. So I was very happy to once again get an authentic one, and it's been lovely. I highly recommend this sunscreen. I'm wearing it right now actually. It basically goes on like lotion and it's SPF 50. It has a really nice texture and it's been fantastic. Then I recently rediscovered the amazingness of shea butter. So I've had shea butter for years, but I usually use some sort of body cream / body oil in lieu of it, except for my elbows, which tend to get eczema. So the shea butter works well for that. However, since it's been winter, I've been extremely dry. My skin has been so dry, it's crazy. So I've been using the shea butter, bringing it back to old school times, and have been using that like on my feet, on my hands, which have been especially dry, and it's been amazing. I was like, I need to get back into this. So this is definitely an inexpensive way to keep moisturized for sure. And then in regards to fitness, I found the scale at Aldi. It's a body fat percentage scale. I've been wanting one for quite some time. However, they're a little bit expensive, but Aldi had it for 10 bucks. Like normally they have a kind of rotating general merchandise section, and in the beginning of the year, of course, in line with everyone's goals to lose weight and whatever, they always have a bunch of fitness stuff. So I ended up finding that there, and I've been really loving it. I think there's like a thing that people believe that is not particularly accurate. However, it's useful in terms of trending like your body fat percentage as you progress. So it has body fat percentage, of course, water percentage, muscle percentage, and bone percentage as well. So I've really been loving that, and especially because I'm able to like pinpoint what's happening. Like I used it at the beginning of January and then checked it again at the end of January and like noted like a positive trend to what I want. So I've been really loving that and look forward to using it on my fitness goals. And then another Aldi find. You guys know I'm always at Aldi and they always have great food and little snacks and stuff that I discover. So yogurt is my new discovery for this week or the last few months, and this is basically it's called, it has a few flavors, so like strawberry, raspberry, cherry, etc. So this one is blueberry on the bottom, and the cool thing about this is that if you've had the Chobani ones, it's basically the same as the Chobani ones. I even read the ingredients, so I had a Chobani one and then I read the ingredients for this, and they were exactly the same. However, this is $2.50 and Chobani is like $5, so it's considerably cheaper for the same thing. So I've been very happy about that. And then in terms of experiences, so as I mentioned, I went on vacation in Europe. I specifically went because I wanted to do the whole Christmas in Europe thing. So we went to a bunch of Christmas markets, and that was my favorite thing. I definitely worth the hype. We went to one in every country we went to, but I think my favorite one one was the one in Switzerland. And then of course, like the greatest Christmas market of them all is in Strasbourg, France. And I really enjoyed that one too. They just have a bunch of like super cool Christmassy themed stalls. You can buy a bunch of Christmas themed things. They have a bunch of holiday foods and drinks, particularly mulled wine that's hot, which is surprisingly delicious. So trying out all the mulled wine in the various countries was like really fun. And it was helpful because you're outside, so it like keeps you warm, and then you're also tipsy, so you don't even care about the cold. So that was like very fun. And then other things recently, I think last weekend, me and my friends finally got to meet up, like all three of us. We knew each other through work in the past. We've been tight ever since, but we met up for afternoon tea at my favorite tea spot here in town, so that was really fun. And then I have been going on a bunch of winter walks, sometimes by myself and then sometimes with JS as well, and those have been surprisingly refreshing because in the past I would never walk in the winter outside. Like, I'm just not into the cold, but as I said before, if you like bundle up good enough, like it's actually quite pleasant, and there are usually less people around, so you get like this nice time to meditate and have some time with your thoughts and nature. So it's been really nice. Now let's move on for our goals for February. So February is a short month. I just looked, it's 28 days. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of things to do because I kind of slacked off in terms of getting these minute goals done. So first goal that I want to continue is to continue to make a video a week, and then I want to edit a short form video. I have a few filmed, so I need to edit at least one. I think that's a good goal to start in terms of editing it, which is like part of like the friction in getting this stuff done. So I'll try to edit a video. I won't try to create a video, which is like a whole nother thing, or film a video. So we're just gonna take baby steps in terms of trying to get this together. And then as always, I'm gonna try to list an item for sale. And then in terms of decluttering, I've decided to set specific parts of the house that I want to declutter. I think making things a little bit more specific might help me accomplish these goals. So I have a set of chest of drawers behind me with clothes that I would like to declutter this month, and then I would like to read a book in its entirety. So as I mentioned, I have 10,000 Doors of January to finish, and then I started this other book, which has been slightly more engaging for me. So hopefully I can finish one of them, whatever like piques my interest the most. So this one is called The Darkness Within Us. I read her first book that's related to this. This one, so the first book I loved. It was amazing, one of my favorite books ever. This one was a little bit off to a slow start in the first chapter, and then I'm on the second chapter this morning and it's starting to get good. So hopefully I can get to the end of it to see what's up. And then I need to start my income tax return, which is not particularly simple. It has like several things that I have to do for it, so it takes a little bit of work. So I want to get started at least and then finish it over the next, or you know, at least by April 15th. Then in terms of to-dos, I need to register for swim class. I know when the posting is going to go up, so I should be able to get on the website in time to register because the classes always fill up fast. And then I have business model research on here yet again. I need to figure this out soon because I need to find out if this is a viable thing that I should continue to pursue or if I just need to move on to something else. And then I have a medical test I need to complete. I mentioned I was having stomach issues, and then I took medication to help with that, and then I need to make sure that the medication actually worked. And then I have some legal paperwork to complete, like nothing crazy. Like I'm not having any legal problems, just kind of a preemptive type of thing that I need to do. And then I have some work training to do, as well as in relation to the tax return. This is the part that complicates things a little bit. I need to go through the business transactions. So those are this YouTube as a business. So any expense related to it, I have to go in and categorize and upload the receipts. And I try to do that consistently throughout the year. However, in December, I was not able to do that because I was traveling so much. So I need to go back and look through all those transactions and get them sorted so I can have a complete picture for 2024. So that is going to be it for this reset. February is going to prove to be a very busy month, it would appear. Let me know what you guys are going to be doing for February, what your goals are, or whatever else you're going to be up to. And I will see you next time.